for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the football. This for the football. This for the football.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Thank God we made it as we head into this weekend. Yesterday, some great baseball and softball games getting played. We're going to go through all of those. We're going to talk about some of the stuff coming up this weekend. We're going to jump into that bracket a little bit as well as some of those matchups are getting set to go. But before we get started in that, I'm Sam Torres. Thanks so much for joining Ashtabula's only morning sports talk show right here on YSN, ysnlive.com. You can find this on Facebook, on YouTube as well. It's going to be a fun one today. Going to institute again on Fridays at the end of the show. Since I only do the show Monday through Friday, you'll get a 2-day break from me. But on Fridays, I think I'm going to try and start a new tradition where I just kind of leave a little bit of something to think about today's, and we're going to call it the final thought. So Friday's final thought is what we'll end the show with, and it's just something maybe not always directly to sports. Most of the time, I live my life with a lot of metaphors and analogies. So a lot of the times, whatever I'm talking about is going to be related in that manner anyway. So we'll get to that and we'll talk about that. But, as we're getting ready to go, let's start talking about some of these games from yesterday because, my goodness, were there some absolute bangers right here on the network. And let's get you up here. Share screen. All right. Let's get that ready. All right. So we're going to start off like we always do, and that's with the games. And we're going to head over to ysnlive.com. ysnlive.com, as you can see. I mean, check out these stories. Check out these photos. It's a one-stop shop over here at YSN. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check and make sure you guys can hear me. Got to do quality control right here on the air. It's a one-man band right now. Got to do quality control. All right, good deal. That's there. Anyway, check out this website. Great stories, great photos. If you have photos that you would like people to see, you would like us to use when we're posting these stories and trying to do these sports updates, you can always reach out to myself or YSN. Let us know, and then we'll get the photo out there. We'll make sure that you get credit for it as well. And I don't know who took this photo, but let's check it out because what a great photo that is. And that's Mahoning Valley Sports. And I don't know why I'm surprised. Mahoning Valley Sports, my goodness, the photos they do are so great as Canfield repeats into regionals. So good for those young ladies. Once again, like I said, go over here to ysnlive.com. That's where you're going to find all of these great stories. You're going to be able to find your all the great stories, all of your scores, your standings, all the information you're going to be looking for. ysnlive.com. It's a wonderful one-stop shop. That's where you want to head into it. All right, let's head over into these scores. As yesterday, everybody's in playoffs now. Everybody's doing playoffs now. So baseball, softball. I think yesterday there were a couple teams that were finishing up their season. I do know that one game still exists in the regular season, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's being played on Saturday, but we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Let's start off with these baseball scores. Austintown Fitch 2-1 over the Comets of Solon. That's a big game. Austintown Fitch, that Division I bracket is an absolute monster of a bracket. There is no break over there. There's no break. There's a lot of talk of, they talked about the Division III bracket in softball and how every week you're playing against an elite team. You look at this Division I, and there are so many teams that are on a crash course for each other, including 3 that are right here on the screen here. That Division I, there are no games to be played. None, 0 zilch. But Austintown Fitch, their journey is going to continue as they're able to get that win over Solon. Louisville, who's another team that people, I think, early in the season had picked to be a favorite. They picked them to be a favorite, for a potential state championship this year as well. So the Leopards able to get a 5-1 win over a very, very good Union Lake team. So they're going to continue, and we'll jump into the brackets here as soon as we get through the scores, and we'll see kind of where these matchups are going next. Akron or Archbishop Hoban, they're going to get a 1-0 win over Ellet. That's the second time they've played them this year. And it's always harder the second time around, but they figured it out right there. So the Knights continue down the road to the playoffs, Warren JFK, 12-0 win over Southern Local. JFK, just a phenomenal baseball team. They started off, I think people were thinking that JFK was going to have another down year this year because they started off the year with a couple losses. But see, what people forget is Warren JFK is a Division IV school. They're a Division IV school, and they always go out and schedule Division I and II games, and not the how do I say this nicely? They're not scheduling the bad teams in those divisions either. They're not scheduling the low win percentage teams in there. Warren JFK goes out and they grab the top of the top. They want all the smoke. So they go out and they schedule these very, very good Division I and II teams, and it prepares them later in the year. Jacob Bell, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in early this morning. They schedule these tough teams, and then later in the year, this is what happens. They're in Division IV. In football, they're like Division VII or something like that. It really just prepares them, for what they're going to see. So, yeah, here they go. Bristol and Lisbon. Bristol goes 10-3 win over Lisbon here. Springfield 16-6 over Badger. Heartland Christian getting a 10-3 win over Maplewood. And St. John, Ashtabula St. John 18-5 over Wellsville. How about the Heralds as they continue their winning ways going into this, their first playoff game of the year. Now, I can tell you, their next game is a tough one, and we'll talk about that when we come into the brackets. There is no sleep. They are not going to get any rest at all. St. John, for all of their efforts, they are going to go from playing the 8 seed to the number 1 seed in the bracket. Matthews gets another dub here as they go 7-5 over Lowellville. East Canton is going to fall to McDonald. McDonald's going to go 6-5 there. United and West Branch, it's all Warriors in this one, 12-0. Heading over here onto the softball side of things, in Canfield, they're going to win another. They're heading over, I believe it's a district championship is actually what they just won. 7-1 over Field. Champion, 2-0 over Lakeview. And I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't watched Champion, if you don't know about the Bolts, If you don't know about the Golden Flashes of Champion, do yourself a favor. Go to ysnlive.com, go under teams, find Champion, and check them out. This is a very, very good softball team with some elite players. We've talked about Fitch all year, and we've talked about Watts, and we've talked about Canfield, and we've talked about Toth. Gabby Gradishar for Champion is the real deal. Those are the pitchers when, if you watch the Diamond Roundup on Sunday nights at 7:00, one of the things we talked about was our Power 20 and the amount of pride we take in that Power 20 just because of the level of play from the teams that are ranked in there. And one of the statements we made was if you gave us the top 5, if you let us take the top 5 softball teams from our Power 20 and put together an all-star team just from there, there's not a team in the country that would beat that team. We would take anybody, anytime, anywhere. You put anybody together if you want to. And it is largely because of those 3 names that I named right there. You've got Gradishar, Watts, and Toth. You might not give up a hit across the country with those 3 in the circle. I mean, just elite play. Heading over here. All right, we're going to go over to South Range and Poland. South Range and Poland. This one, a lot closer than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be. South Range hits another win over Poland, and I think it's their third of the year. I believe it's the third time they beat South Range, as DJ was talking about yesterday on Power Hour. But I think they thought that South Range was going to kind of roll through this one, and Poland absolutely puts up a dog of a fight in this one. But South Range going to continue here, 6-5 win for the Lady Raiders. And McDonald 4-0 win over Waterloo there. So those are your scores from yesterday. McDonald's another one. We talk about pitchers. You got to talk about Bella O'Brien down there. So, elite championship softball happens right here on YSN. The best of the best softball in the state happens on ysnlive.com. And we're going to see, because I think we have an argument for the best baseball in the state as well. Just with some of the teams that are still playing right here. If there's better baseball anywhere else, I'd like you to show me. So that's where we're at with those. Let's get this off the screen, as those are our scores. All right. I'm going to let's get our brackets pulled up here for OHSAA. And it looks like, OHSAA, we are at the regional tournaments now. Well, we should be. But they don't have everybody listed. We've got some of them, so we'll get those pulled up here as well. I apologize for skipping over the softball side yesterday, but I knew that there were a lot of updates that needed to happen here, and I'm going to enlarge the screen here for you right here. So this, again, we are at the regional. We are at the regionals, the regional semifinals. Excuse me. Here, so you're going to have some of our teams taking part as Vienna Matthews. Well, I don't know if Matthews is part of the network yet. But Matthews is going to be taking on Mogador. That one going to be at the Rome Athletic Conference in Berea. And then you've got Southington Chalker. How about that for an NAC? You got 2 NAC teams going into the regional semifinals. Unbelievable. Like, for that, that small of a conference to have that much, that's incredible. So the NAC, no matter how you slice it, is most likely going to have a regional champion. All right, as we head over onto the Division III side of things. And there you go. You got that's champion. They're going to be taking on LaGrange in Keystone, and that one's going to be right there in Canton. And then, oh boy, Canfield. Now you talk about a tough pool. I don't know anything about Keystone. I don't know anything about LaGrange, but I do know that Worcester Triway is the real deal. And they're going to be playing them over there at Canton as well. So this game on May 24th, that's must see. That's must see, and I imagine I can say with a fair amount of confidence that that's going to be right here on the network. So we are at in the softball side of things, we are at the regional semifinals portion of the tournament. Division II here. Canfield going to be playing Parma Heights Holy Name. That's going to be on the 24th, and that's going to be in Macedonia. And it looks like the rest of those games are still going to still looking to get finished. And as we head over to Division I, I thought this bracket was pretty much done, but there's still a lot open in here too. So here in Division I, you got Austintown Fitch. They're going to be playing Berea Mid Park, and they'll be playing them right there at YSU, baby. North Canton Hoover, Jesuit. That's all they've got listed right now. I guess some of those scores are still coming in. So as we head right back over, we're going to go, let's jump into some of these baseball tournament brackets. And this is the one I was telling you about yesterday. So, number 8, St. John, for all of their work as they beat the number 7 Wellsville Tigers, they are going to get to meet up against Hartville Lake Center Christian. And that's going to be at Struthers at Scene Park on the 23rd. So, Scene Park is another one of those. If you haven't been down there, you should really go check it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful baseball complex right there in Struthers. Also in this one, you're going to have Matthews taking on McDonald. And these are the section. This is for a sectional title game. So whoever wins this is going to be heading into the regional semifinals. So big games going on right here. And congratulations to all the teams that are still in the race. Check over here on this side of the bracket, and you've got Warren JFK. And we talked about how tough of a pool St. John had in taking Hartville Lake Center. Bristol, for all of their work in beating the number 13 seed, they get to go against the big bad boys from Warren JFK. And all Warren JFK did was, I believe, throw a no-hitter against Saline Southernville. That one is set for the 23rd. And that one is going to be played at Springfield. So, and then Springfield, who's going to be taking on Heartland Christian, the 5 versus 6 seed, also going to be played at home. So Springfield's going to get a late home game. Congratulations to those Tigers. Heading back through here, and we're going to go into Division III, and hopefully I'm not skipping over any teams. I'm picking the regions that I believe YSN and we're going to have teams in. If I'm skipping one, there's a comment section. Let me know. Over here on Struthers, the Struthers side of things, this is one, Cortland, Lakeview, and Perry, I am really, really interested in. This could be a really good matchup. Perry's a very good baseball team, as is Lakeview Cortland. Lakeview Cortland got into I won't say a super tough one, but they definitely got into a matchup with Cardinal. Perry's got some big-time talent, and Cortland is obviously talented, winning what I believe to be the toughest conference in Northeast Ohio in the NE8. This is going to be must-see TV as well. I think this is going to be one that's going to be on the network. Stay tuned. Those announcements are coming. Kirtland and Garfield, these are two teams that seem to find each other a lot as well. Garfield, the 5 seed, Kirtland, the 4 seed. So Kirtland actually not having the year that they would have wanted in baseball. Taking some losses. It's been a tougher one on them than they would have anticipated, but they were able to kind of shake it off, dust themselves off, get back on the horse. And Garfield, on the other hand, Garfield has been straight up smacking teams. So, Garfield with a ton of runs this year. And this one, I believe, is still played. No, that's going to be played at Scene Park, too. So that one going to be played over at Scene Park. And Scene Park is it's like a gem with all the stuff that they've got going on there. All right, over here in the Niles portion of the sections, you got South Range taking on Champion, 12 versus 2. Champion, you're really going to have to punch up in this one. South Range is really, really good. They're very, very good. It'll be interesting to see how Champion can do. Champion's been up and, they've had a lot of wins to their own right. I think their baseball team has been a little bit overshadowed because of the dominance of their softball team, but their baseball team's still very good in their own right. Hanoverton United, they're going to be taking on LeBray. This one is for sure going to be must-see TV. That's going to be at Waddle Park there in Niles. LeBray is, I talked about it on yesterday's show. LeBray has a target on him. I think a lot of people thought that LeBray got more love and more respect than they deserved. I'm not. I think LeBray earned every bit of that. I think LeBray was the real deal. I think they are the real deal. But just understand that a lot of those, anytime you give credit to schools, a lot of other schools use that as blackboard material, chalkboard material. So LeBray is going to get everybody's best shot, and United's best shot is a good one. United, a very, very good team. So, again, that's going to be happening on the 22nd. All right. As we head in, I don't think we have anybody in Creston or Parma Heights. So, yeah. No, we did not. Just a quick double check there. Don't want to miss anybody. All right. Heading over here, we're going down to Division II. Division II, we'll start in the Louisville bracket, and you got NDCL getting ready to take on Marlington, and Hubbard and West Branch. Another meeting of the Giants. Hubbard with a ton of wins. Hubbard the victim of being in the NE8, because Hubbard in any other conference, I think, would have ended up just dominating the conference. 18 or 19 wins or something like that for them this year. West Branch, the same thing, just a ton of wins throughout the year. This one, it's going to be a slobber knocker. These two are going to absolutely hammer each other, and I can't wait to watch it. Who's going to get, I don't know if this is going to be a super high scoring affair or if this is going to be a battle for one. But I do know it's going to be a good game between these two teams. Very, very good teams in Hubbard, in Hubbard and West Branch, and this one's going to be played at Louisville High School. So check that one out. 5:22 for that game. Let's go over to the Struthers side of things, and it's the boys from Canfield and the boys from Poland getting to meet up on the 22nd, and this one is going to be it's going to be a tough one for Poland in this one. Canfield is very, very good. Very good, and they've got their eyes on the prize. So, Poland able to get a big win over Edgewood. A one-run win at the end there. Congratulations to them. Canfield is going to come with everything they got. So Poland should be ready, and I'm sure that they will be. This one has the makings of a classic as well. Ursuline and Mogador. Ursuline able to get a second victory of the year over a very good Geneva team. Geneva and a Geneva team that was seated higher, but had, Ursuline double circled on their calendar all year. Ursuline was one of a few teams to be able to beat Geneva this year, and they were able to do it again in the playoffs, keeping it a low-scoring affair, going 1-0. And now they're going to be taking on Field, and Field, a very, very good team that, you're starting to see Field's name over and over and over again. And that right there is the mark of a great athletic department over there at Field. I don't think we have anybody in Twinsburg, and I don't think we have anybody in Gates Mills. No, we do not. All right, double checking here just for the sake of being thorough. All right, let's head over here to this Canton bracket here in Division I. We've got look Chardon and Hoban. Yes, please sign me up. State champions versus state favorites right there in that one. That one's going to be played in Canton. Chardon coming in the 4 seed, Hoban coming in the 7 seed. The winner of this game is most I think probably going to be the winner of the bracket over here. I don't know that any of these teams up here are going to be able to beat them. I'm sure they're going to be great games. But I think whoever wins between this Akron and Chardon matchup is most likely going to be representing this section in the region. This one's going to be on the 23rd. That one's in Canton at 5 o'clock. So must see streaming right there, folks. Let's head over here into the Euclid branch. We don't have anybody there. And Berea. Nobody there. So Macedonia. All right, Macedonia, and there it is. This was the one I was looking for here. You got Walsh Jesuit and Austintown Fitch. This one's going to be played in Macedonia at 5 o'clock on the 23rd. 2 seed versus 12 seed. Talked about teams that are going to have to punch up. Austintown Fitch is absolutely going to have to punch up. They're in the toughest division in Ohio, the top division. So every win that they get, the later they get into these tournaments, is going to be one where they are going to have to play their absolute best. Mistake-free baseball, and you're going to have to make them make mistakes. That's how you win. That's how you upset the bigger teams. And then Canton Glen Oak versus Louisville. This is an 8-9 seed, and it should be close, but I believe Louisville already beat them this year. So give me the Leopards in this one. I haven't called any games, but Louisville is very, very good. Number 1 in our Power 20. They're the onslaught that they had at the end of the year, beating big teams with tons of wins, impressed me to my core. The Leopards are going to be a hard out for anybody who meets them. So, and then, that's just going to be, it's a tough, Division I is no joke. Like that's all that can be said about that one. So that is, let's get that off there. So those are your scores and some of the things that are coming up. We're going to go to our first break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the games that are going to be on the network. We're going to be talking about some of the games that aren't on the network tonight, some of the stuff to look forward to in the weekend, and then I'm going to leave you with my final thought. This is the part of the show that I like to remind everybody that the 440 Sports Show is brought to you by nobody yet. I'm still looking for a sponsor. I'm still looking for some advertisement. It's a great way to get your product or your business name in front of a ton of people, all the way from the Mahoning River to Akron, all the way up to Lake Erie. Everybody in between, almost 70 schools and way more than 70 different demographics. You're going to get your product out there. It's going to be well known. It's going to be run during games, during shows, on the website. Our website at this point, 8 5.6 million views to the website. It's great regional broadcasting. It's the best value in advertising right now, and it's offered right here on ysnlive.com. You can reach out to me on any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram. I don't really get on Twitter that much, but if you want me to get on Twitter, I'll get on Twitter. Reach out, let me know if we can help you, or you go to www.ysnlive.com. Go under the advertising icon on there, and it's going to walk you through the whole thing. Not to be overlooked, and what I feel is the most important, is the fact that you're helping kids. Because all of the sponsorships and advertisements that we get for the shows and for the network, all of that gets pumped right back into putting out quality broadcasts, putting together events like All-Star Games, the Combine, the volleyball previews, all of these things. We take all of that, and not only that, just broadcasting. It puts us out here so we can help get this information out to you. So it's a great way to kind of give back, help us, help them. Contact anybody. I'd love to get some Ashtabula. I'd love to get an Ashtabula business involved here with some representation. Representation matters, and it matters on the network as well. As the lone Ashtabula broadcaster, I'd love nothing more than to get one of our businesses or some of our businesses, some love right here on the network. All right, well, we're going to start with our friends from Toyota of Warren, and when we come back, games coming up, as well as my final thought.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
All right, welcome back here to the 440 Sports Show. Let's get that switched over. And we're going to talk about some of the games that are on tap today here on Friday, and we don't have a lot. It looks like nothing is scheduled today outside of Wright State at YSU. That is going to be the only game going on this weekend, or today, rather. But on Saturday, we've got, let me make sure there's nothing else happening at sea. No, nothing at all. And, this is interesting, and this is going to send me off in a tangent. And I'm sorry, but that's the way this goes. Let me get this Saturday thing knocked out first. So Saturday on the network, we're gonna have Wright State at YSU. Anthony Romo on the call there, and then a regular season softball matchup everybody is keeping their eye on, and the conclusion of Austintown Fitch. Now they're gonna do this one at Canfield, so they have to finish that game first, and then they're going to follow it up with another game. So, a game and an inning is what you're going to get on Saturday. Anthony Hartwig going to be on the call there. And then from 10 a.m. all the way to 2 p.m., there's going to be baseball going on at Scene Park. That's going to be right here on the network as well. I'm looking at the fact that there are no games. There are no playoff games today. There are no playoff games this weekend. But there are playoff games. There were playoff games this week, and there were playoff games last week as well that started as early as 2 o'clock. These teams have to travel a ton. And I will never understand how pulling kids out of school early for a game makes sense. And I'm not getting on the coaches, because whatever you get, you got to get there. You're going to compete. It doesn't matter if it's 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. You're going to get your guys or your girls there, and you're going to get ready. But I'm looking toward the OHSAA here. You have an entire weekend that you can schedule games on. There's no reason that tournament games shouldn't be happening Friday nights and Saturday nights. That's where they belong. Not at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. Not pulling kids out of school for stuff like that. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, you have a whole weekend to use. You've got Friday nights and there's no school on Saturdays. So you got Friday nights, you got Saturdays. Those should be the travel days. Those should be the times that you're pushing in these games. Not Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's just, it's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me. I don't know when that became the norm. When that became the, that's going to be acceptable. That's what we got going on the network. I want to get into my final thought here on Friday. So one of the things on Fridays, I'm going to try and end the show with just something to think about. If you're as old as I am, you probably remember a show a show with a guy named Arsenio Hall, and he used to say, and there used to be a song that said, "Things to make you go, hmm." Well, that's what this is. Things to make you go, hmm. Graduations are happening right now. I know some of the kids are actually, there's baccalaureates that have happened. We're in a time of transition. Anybody who's got a high schooler, anybody who's got a school-age child, anybody who's teaching, you're at a time of transition. And with transition and change comes leadership and a leadership change. Leadership, whether bestowed or sought after, has certain requirements. It's more than a pay. It's more than a pay increase. It's more than a title. It's more than a way to kind of show your achievements. Leadership is a gift. Leadership is something that every time you are given that gift, you should take seriously. So whether you are a junior who's coming into your senior year, whether you are a seventh grader becoming the top dog as an eighth grader, you are going to be placed into a role of leadership. People are going to look to you to learn. They are going to look to you to problem solve. Leadership is super fun until you have to lead. There are times when you in a leadership. Let me see it, because it looks like we're having trouble here with the internet. All right. Should be good. All right. Anyway, there are times, I'm going to get back to it. There are times during your leadership where you're going to have to make tough decisions. You're going to have to make the right decisions. And that is the true measure of how a leader is going to be measured. Nobody has ever said, look how great this leader is because they've taken care of stuff that only benefits them or only benefits their friends. True leaders make decisions for the group. True leaders are doing what's right regardless of how tough it is. It's a gift, and it's something that, again, you don't always want, but sometimes you fall into that role. And some people seek positions and seats of leadership. And when people have given you that trust, when people have given you that opportunity to not make the most of it, to not lead in your best possible way, to let any other, influences, be them personal relationships or, fear of change or anything like that, to allow that to keep you from leading is a disservice to the people who have asked you to lead. There are a lot of changes that are coming up this year for a lot of different people. You got to look into yourself, and if you are put into a position of leadership, ask yourself, what do I need to do to be the best leader I can? And am I always making the best decisions for the group, or am I just looking out for me? That's the difference between a good leader and a bad leader, at least from my perspective. That's my final thought here on Friday. My name is Sam Torres. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys all on Monday. Make sure you tune in to YSN Live all week, all weekend. We've got you covered, baby. It's the best place to catch sports. One-stop shop, scoreboard standings. You have it. We got it. All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.
This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and them ghosts. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating no dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.